What would happen if someone decided to challenge a professional fighter? Well, most people would probably think twice before testing a real fighter's skills. But apparently,
Paddy the sausage finger. We have a cage here. You show up, bring a few of your boys if you want, and just make sure that after I knock you out, you don't call the cops. Because we all know what you're like. You're a little snitch. If you're bad enough, show up. You set the time.
Some don't realize what they're getting into. When someone with no experience tries to go up against a seasoned champion, it often ends with them getting a hard lesson in respect. And let's just say, their ego isn't the only thing that gets knocked out. In today's video, we're diving into 5 jaw-dropping moments when real fighters gave it everything they had and left the challengers with a lesson they'll never forget. If you think you can just walk into a gym and throw hands with a pro, think again. These stories will change your perspective on what it means to be a true fighter. Let's get started. 1. Mike Tyson, the champion who got challenged mid-flight. Imagine this. You're sitting on a plane, peacefully enjoying your snack or watching the latest movie. And out of nowhere, someone decides it's a good idea to mess with a boxing legend like Mike Tyson. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? Well, this guy on a flight decided to taunt Tyson.
This is George talking to Mike Tyson, bro. This shit crazy, bro. Mike Tyson.
Thinking he could get away with it. Mike Tyson, trying to give us some shrooms?
Sometimes I struggle with the fact of why it's a possibility I can really hurt somebody.
The man mocked. Oh, buddy. If you know anything about Iron Mike...
Sometimes it's orgasmic sometimes. Yeah.
So when you finally get your hands on them.
Hey, what does it mean when fighting gets you erect? What does that mean?
You know that wasn't a good idea. The man continued to provoke Tyson, probably thinking that Tyson would just sit there and ignore it.
Mine.
Real prick though, right?
What? What's the matter?
You're a real prick. Just hit me with all these disgusting pictures.
Oh, no, but if you don't want to comment on it, don't.
I will
I'm just
comment on it, but you're a prick.
No, what? No, I didn't. I'm just trying to. We're trying to. If you don't want to comment on it, you don't have to.
I will comment on it, but you're a prick. I'm just letting you know. Continue.
But let's be real. That's like poking a bear and expecting it to write you a thank you card. Eventually, Tyson, who was minding his own business,
happened from your point of view? Did you see him really dazed?
Well, no, I noticed my trainers would tell me we're slipping and hooking. So when we slip, because usually I come in that slip and I get in there, and that's the hardest part of getting in there, and I never threw the punch. And so we're practicing like a slip, so you're in there.
Turned around and gave the guy a lesson he'll never forget. The fool quickly realized how dumb he'd been. Tyson didn't just hit hard.
Hey. Hey, Mike, come on. Let's go stop back. Let's do the horse, man.
He hit with purpose. And guess what? It wasn't a gentle tap.
Well, you know about that time you saved me and Big Pun's life. Pun was like, yo, twin, just me and you, let's go to the tunnel. He started arguing with this one bouncer, but they had like 8 bouncers. So I grabbed him for 1 second. I said, you do know we're gonna get fucked up.
This incident wasn't Tyson's first run-in with someone testing him, but it sure did remind the world that messing with a fighter, even in such a public setting, wasn't the smartest idea. Tyson, with years of fighting experience, once again proved that some challenges just don't end well.
You don't think there's an opportunity to land a big punch on Floyd?
Let me tell you something about Floyd. This is what I don't like about him either. No matter whatever we say about him, and it could be true, but he's in that gym.
2. Deontay Wilder, the heavyweight with a heavy punch. Next up, we have Deontay Wilder, known for having one of the most powerful right hands in boxing.
About knocking guys out, that is a part of it.
That shot! The right hand
One day, an internet troll decided it would be funny to challenge Wilder. Big mistake.
With tremendous power.
Since real big. The troll started with threats, saying, "If I hit you with my power, you'll spit every tooth out."
I've seen a lot of hard punchers, man. I've been watching boxing since I was a little kid. You've got some freakish power, man.
Yeah.
It's weird. You got weird power.
Most definitely. We always say I'm a freak of nature. I definitely got some type of freakish power.
Well, that's what we call an overconfident move, right? Wilder, already a dangerous man in the ring, was more than ready to teach this guy a lesson.
Right now, that was a left hook and a short right hand that puts Raybot down.
Wilder called out the troll, and you can guess how that went. The troll quickly found out that Wilder's fists pack more than just words. They pack a punch that could end a fight in seconds.
I always tell the story that my grandmother said I was anointed by God. She was always like, if I got suspended for school and stuff, she was always like, God is trying to use you. You're the one, you're chosen, you know. Yeah, she was very big, and she was big in the spirituality and Christianity, so she should always be a teacher.
And let's just say, the troll's plan didn't work out so well for him.
Picks up his 26th knockout in his 26th pro bout.
Wilder wasn't just proving his knockout power, he was sending a clear message. Never underestimate the power of a true champion.
Here comes the man who would be king, America's heavyweight champion, the first U.S.-born heavyweight title holder since Brooklyn's Shannon Briggs.
The troll learned the hard way that it's not just about the words you say, it's about the punch you're about to receive.
That Wilder didn't finish Brazil before he did because he knew that would become...
Moral of the story? Keep your big talk in check, especially when you're up against a heavyweight champ. 3. Shawn Strickland, the unpredictable UFC fighter. Now, let's talk about Shawn Strickland, a UFC fighter known for being one of the most unpredictable fighters in the game.
He loves violence. He's definitely a screw loose.
The most aggressive striker in the middleweight divisions.
He's fucking dangerous, man.
Now, before you feel sorry for what's about to happen,
Strickland doesn't back down from anyone, even if it's a prank or a challenge from some online personality.
I'd sleep under the bed, I'd sleep by the door because I thought my dad was gonna kill my mom. So
there's one night, dude, I went to go sleep in my mom's room. My dad's like,
Dad, he's not sleeping in here tonight. He's not, kick him out.
And I'm like, kid, I just don't feel good about this tonight. I don't feel good about it tonight.
And so I army crawl under the bed and I'm sleeping under the bed and fleas were just...
Imagine thinking you can mess with a fighter and end up on the wrong side of unpredictability. One famous incident involved a streamer who thought it would be fun to make fun of Strickland live on air. The streamer tried to act like Strickland was a nobody. But boy, did he underestimate the fighter. Strickland wasn't about to let that slide.
The school system's like, oh, Shawn, he's just a bad kid. They don't realize him up till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right. So yeah, right. So I started ditching in
He called the streamer into the ring for a little lesson. And no, this wasn't a let's play around kind of lesson. Strickland showed that being a pro fighter means you can handle just about anything. Even a wannabe tough guy challenging you on the internet. By the end of it, the streamer was humbled and probably learned that messing with a UFC fighter isn't something you just do for kicks.
You're a little kid. Imagine that?
Nah, dude, but she nail on the head, dude. I was a bag,
Right.
Strickland made sure of that. Strickland's behavior, both inside and outside the octagon, teaches us one thing. If you're going to challenge someone, make sure you know who they really are. Because underestimating someone who's always ready to fight? Well, that's just asking for trouble.
Oh, you could call him one of the best teammates in the room.
You know who's one of the best teammates? Chris Curtis.
Speaking of my number one black friend, come on.
The podcast.
one of the best things about Shawn Strickland is the fact that he's friends with you.
He's not as bad as we all think. He often says the right thing, but he delivers it the worst possible way.
4. Kevin Holland, the UFC fighter who handles internet bullies. Kevin Holland, another UFC star, had his own run-in with an internet bully. This time, it wasn't just a trolling video, it was a real-life confrontation at a gym.
Tell me when the shot's coming, brother.
He's talking to Khabib. He's saying, tell me when the shot's coming.
Little by little, more squeeze, little by little.
Oh, he's
still talking. That's a good sign.
Hip down.
A guy, thinking he was a tough guy, challenged Holland to a fight. Spoiler alert. He wasn't as tough as he thought. As soon as the fight started, it was clear who the real fighter was.
Long. No offense to you guys, but I noticed that DC wasn't here. So I said if it starts wrestling, I ain't gonna have the wrestling advice. So I just think I'd go ahead and get it out the way a little early.
So you're relying on DC to give you the advice? Now I'll have to let him know that.
Yeah, he left before I can get the cheat code. That ain't right.
Holland showed the internet bully that fighting isn't just about talking big online. It's about real skills and real strength. In no time, the troll found himself regretting the challenge, while Holland showed the audience exactly why you should never challenge someone who actually knows how to fight.
I've never seen somebody talk like that in the middle of a fight.
Holland's approach wasn't just about defending his pride. It was about showing the world that online bravado doesn't equate to real-life fighting ability. Because we all know talking big behind a screen is one thing.
We are learning more about the man accused of shooting inside of a crowded restaurant in Highland Village.
But facing a fighter in person? That's a whole different ballgame. Kevin Holland reminded everyone that fighting isn't just a game. It's a lifestyle for those who train for it. And if you're not training, well, don't expect to come out on top.
One night a week, my mom likes to cook me supper. I'm just a regular.
5. Clarissa Shields, the unstoppable force in women's boxing. Finally, we have Clarissa Shields, one of the greatest female boxers in history. One day, Clarissa was going about her business when a woman, who had been trolling her on Twitter, showed up at her gym. Action. The woman thought she could get under Shields' skin by threatening her online, but Clarissa wasn't having any of it. Oh no, not today.
Savannah, commiserations. How do you feel right now on the back of probably the best female fight that we've ever had in a British ring?
I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who bought a ticket.
The two women got into the ring, and it was clear from the start that Shields was on a whole other level. She dominated the fight, showcasing why she's one of the most feared athletes in boxing today. The troll learned that it's never a good idea to mess with someone who has trained for years to perfect their craft. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. Spoiler alert, you're not gonna win. Shields didn't just win the fight, she made sure that the message was loud and clear. Never underestimate the power of a dedicated professional. Her victory wasn't just about the punches thrown. It was about proving that no amount of online trolling can take away the years of hard work and dedication it takes to be a champion. And that's a wrap on today's video. These fighters have shown us that, while talking tough might get you some attention, challenging a professional fighter is never a good idea. They put in years of hard work and training to get where they are, and when it comes to the ring, they don't hold back. So, if you ever feel like challenging a fighter, think twice. It's not just about being tough, it's about being skilled, and that's something you can't fake. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more awesome content. Until next time, stay smart and stay safe.